An instinct. A feeling. The Force brought us together. We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optics. And today we are going to be doing a non-spoiler review of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So
hang in there strong if you're still trying to avoid spoilers.
Yes, hang in there very, very strong. You know, we wanted to get this out for you guys because, you know, not everyone, we just got back from seeing the movie. So, you know, we're going to be putting up the non-spoiler review first, and then alongside with our spoiler heavy review, which we just finished recording there. We wanted to get that all out of our system so we don't accidentally say anything for the people who haven't seen the movie yet, because, you know, not everyone can see it on opening night. And technically, you know, it's not even opening night. Technically, tomorrow is the official date of the release, but, you know, a few places, theaters around the country let people come in Thursday night to come see it. So it's just a little bit of an extra night there to have for Friday opening numbers. But like Devin said, you know, stay strong. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there on Twitter and social media who just love to ruin these types of things for people. And with, you know, me myself, I tried so hard to, you know, fight these leaks, and I think I can probably say that I didn't run into any myself. You know, I had my theories. I watched theory videos about, you know, about what could be going down, and, you know, the lineage of Rey's parents and what have you. But, you know, I think I did a pretty good job, and I think Devin did as well. But before we begin in today's review, you can listen to this non-spoiler review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and Anchor as well as Apple Podcasts. I can't remember if I said that. I'm sorry. It's just been a long night. You know, there's a lot to take in with this movie. But Devin, I guess I guess, like, you know, let's just start with you with like your initial thoughts of you know, what you thought of the movie, and what do you think people can enjoy from this, and, you know, if this whole trilogy is a perfect arc, or, you know, what have you.
Yeah, like I said in the spoiler review, my first initial thoughts were that it was good, not great, and then we both listed the issues we had in the other review, so make sure to watch that when you're done watching this movie. But I still really enjoyed it. I had a good time throughout the whole movie. I never felt bored or like mad or anything. I don't know how you could ever get mad.
There's a lot of people out there who probably get mad about this, but
there are.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot of great relations, and, you know, the trio between Rey, Poe, and Finn to me is probably the best that we've seen from this trilogy. You know, we've seen, you know, with Force Awakens that it was mainly, you know, Finn interacting with Rey and Poe separately on separate occasions, and then you know, with The Last Jedi, it was, you know, I mean, Rey kind of goes off and does her own thing. You know, it's pretty much kind of like a giant chase scene between that movie. As much as I loved it, I will say, between The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker, I kind of touched on this in our spoiler review, but I definitely feel like between all three of these movies, the one that feels out of place is The Last Jedi, and that is not a bad thing.
That's just logical because of the different director.
Yeah, and, you know, we've talked about, you know, Star Wars really needs to you know, hire one director for an entire trilogy, because, you know, even, you know, the name is slapped on there. You know, the visual effects of, you know, The Rise of Skywalker are phenomenal.
Yeah, the CGI and the practical effects were amazing all throughout the movie. It's one of the best movies you can see as far as visuals go.
Yeah, and it didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like we're gonna shove this stuff all down your throats. It was a very coherent story. It told what it needed to tell. Myself, I teared up a little bit during certain parts, but it's this movie. It was all about after the effects after The Last Jedi, their forces are so small. But to me, I guess if I were to take one thing out of this movie, it would be not necessarily belief, but courage and what you believe in, and standing up for what you think is right and doing the right thing. When it comes to a film like this, is a few instances within the film where I think that definitely echoes. But we all have our little gripes with the movie, but you can obviously listen to that on our spoiler heavy review, because again, we don't want to give away anything for you guys. But I think that the performance that Leia gave, even though it was unused footage, I think it's from The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi, I can't really remember, but it was honestly as if she never left us. You know what I mean, Devin?
Yeah, they definitely used the footage that they had well, and she looked good all throughout.
Yeah, I thought that. So honestly, for a second, I thought a lot of it was CGI, but it was very, it blew me away, to be completely honest. There,
yeah.
And, this story is mainly about Poe, Finn, and Rey, going on adventure.
Yeah, all my favorite scenes were the ones that had all three of them, and I enjoyed all of those the most. It's definitely the thing I was most looking forward to as well, and it definitely paid off.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that the chemistry between them are amazing. As much as they did love Rian Johnson, even John Boyega kind of voiced this, that he preferred J.J. Abrams, and Finn definitely has a great role within this film. So I
think Finn should have issues with everybody because of how he got jerked around in the trilogy.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and even between the relationship between Finn and Poe with Oscar Isaac as well, that definitely it was kind of like a dude romance to me, at least. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Man, I'm trying to think what else was there.
I'd say the biggest thing is this is exactly what you go to the movies for. This is a spectacle. This is an event, and it's stuff that you're gonna remember decades from now. So, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, I would suggest just seeing it in a theater, a nice big Dolby or IMAX theater.
Yeah, preferably Dolby, but whatever. But even one of my Dolby boys all day. We know better, so it's fine. But yeah, like one of my roommates, not my roommate, I'm sorry, one of my coworkers, he's a really big Star Wars fan. He was actually going to drag one of our other coworkers to go to the movie, and he's never really even sat down and watched Star Wars. So he's seen like bits and chunks, but he's never fully, sat down and said, "Oh, hey, this is." This is one of the, I don't watch Star Wars, but I definitely like this movie. So he took one of our other co-workers to go see it tonight. I believe that they should be back by now. I think they went to go see it around 8:00. But yeah, I can't wait to talk to them about it with them. I can't wait to talk about it with everybody else. Honestly, I can't really think of too many other things to say before I accidentally say something spoilery, but this film, it's a very special to me, at least, with it being the last of the Skywalker saga. I think it is everything comes together so great and so well. The jokes are there, the chemistry between every character is there. It's just as much as you would think that they would be. This film is definitely 100% fan service, I believe, but there is nothing wrong with fan service. And it's very hard to, wrap up an entire trilogy. Not even a trilogy. You're essentially wrapping up the entire saga as well.
9 movies.
9 movies, and that is, that's definitely going to, raise some heads and turn away some heads. But, I definitely want everyone to get out there and, watch it and think what, form your own opinions about this movie.
At the very least, everything looks amazing, and it's fun to have interactions with the crowd and fun to see, and all the loud noises. It got really loud in the Dolby Theater, like really loud.
Yeah, it really did. I wasn't even
that chair was rumbling.
Yeah, I wasn't even in like the middle of the Dolby Theater. I was honestly like way up on like the top right hand corner of the entire theater. But even then, my seat was rumbling and I was just enjoying the ride as it is. But was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we end this non-spoiler review?
I think that's it.
All right. And I think that's it for me as well. So thank you as always, Devin, for coming on. And everyone at home, this is going to conclude our non-spoiler review of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. You can check out our spoiler-heavy review after you've seen the movie, just so we can kind of, like I said, I wanted to cater to everyone and make sure that everyone was able to hear the version that they feel most comfortable with. But with that said, you can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher, all at Film Optix. On Optix is spelled Optix. And as I stated before in the spoiler free review, we're taking a little bit of a hiatus this coming up week, maybe until the new year, just to everyone has time to spend with their families and what have you. So definitely have a few more reviews in the pipe. It just probably won't come until after the holiday time. But I believe that does it here for today, Devin. So thank you everyone for listening, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.